and welcome back to Between Us Girls. Today we're talking about an issue that I think most of us are familiar with, and that is around weight and basically body imaging. So today we're back with my favorite guest, Dr. Stee. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Tendai?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get into it. Weight. Has it ever been something that's been an issue for you? Because when I look at you, I think you're just beautiful.
Thank
Top
you.
to bottom, full stop.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, recently I've just had to lose the baby weight.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been a year, and you always ask yourself, what is the right time to lose the baby weight?
Right.
Because we have so many examples of celebrities that lose the weight so quickly. But they have a whole team of people
Right.
looking out for them and making sure they're eating right. So it's the same thing. Personally, for me, I've been on this dieting on and off since I was 11 years old.
Okay, 11, that's pretty young.
11.
That's so young, Steve. Like what would trigger that at that age?
So the school that I went to was predominantly a white school.
Oh, okay.
And everyone was stick thin and no curves. And here I was getting hips, getting a bit of boob, and I felt really fat because I didn't look like everyone else.
Yeah.
So the images that I had of what should be a good looking, nice girl, I felt like I was way too fat. So I started dieting, and I would take off the skin of the chicken, and I started trying to eat veggies. Imagine in grade 6 eating vegetables.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was on the other end of the spectrum. I mean, I went around, different countries, as you know.
Yeah.
Kenya, Tanzania, and I was always in international schools. And
Yes.
so the majority of the people in international schools are usually white, and then you've got Asian kids and you've got a few mixed race kids, and then the black kids were always the small percentage.
I completely relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I happen to have an athletic body.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my friends who were also like curvier and stuff, the black girls, the Kenyan girls, they also felt very, very out of place. Meanwhile, me, I was the opposite, because the way I was raised by a woman who's very conscious about black beauty and blackness in our culture. So natural hair, natural features, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, everything. So for me, I was always looking like, oh, one day I'll have hips and curves.
One day when I grow up.
Yeah, and you had them, and yet
I didn't want them. I didn't want them.
So
and that's the thing. It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
The way you look, the way you feel. It's the images that are being sent to you. The perceptions of what is beauty, what is good, what doesn't look good.
Right.
So when you see, when you want something, you keep seeing it, and you feel like everyone looks like that. Everyone has a skinny waist and the nice hips, and that's what I want. But in my head, I'm like, I want to be thin. I want to be stick thin. I don't want a hip. I don't want anything. So it depends on you as a person.
Okay, so I'm also wondering, then how is your relationship then with your body moving forward, right? And it's not just about you, but just in general, because as women, we always feel under pressure to look a certain way, right? According to whatever is trending for the day, right?
Yes.
So also there's lots of, there's controversies around people who take certain features, i.e. the Kardashian types who their hips and their bums keep getting bigger, and it's sort of reminiscent of the figure that black women are supposed to have, and sort of the impact that it has on the people around them. And back again to social media, you keep seeing these reinforced images around you. But then this weight loss issue, I think for me it's dangerous as well, because on the journey to weight loss, there's such extremes, you know what I mean? So I think you've got anorexia, and then bulimia as well. And you wanting to lose weight when you were younger, and you felt that pull, right, to do whatever you could to lose weight.
It takes. So I have tried everything. I've been on Atkins, I've been on Bunting, I've been on keto, I've been on intermittent fasting. I know so much about dieting, But I also tell people about dieting.
Right.
So from the medical perspective,
Okay.
I'll be like, no, you shouldn't do that. Your body's starving. But then I'll be like, no, but I won't do that either because I don't want to gain weight. So you just have to reach that balance of eating right and not starving the body, because a lot of these diets, you bounce back and the body comes back with a vengeance, because now it has held on to all those, although it won't let go of any of the protein or the fat. And the moment you start eating, it's not metabolizing anything. And now you're just gaining and gaining.
Okay, but you say that about, just eat the right thing or just do this. But your mindset is in a different space, isn't it?
It is.
So that there can even be a disconnect between what you're seeing on the outside
and what you actually are.
Exactly.
So that's how disorders like anorexia come out. Those are psychological disorders. A person looks into the mirror and they are seeing the fattest person they've ever, yes, the F word, the fattest person they have ever seen. And they're tiny. But in their mind, they can't conceive that I'm small. So they'll just keep trying to eat, keep trying to lose weight and not eat.
In your profession, have you come across many Black African girls who have this? Because when I was, younger, it was like a white girl thing,
yes,
right?
So they're the
ones in the movies who stick their fingers down their throats and they're trying to...
Well, bulimia is actually more common than anorexia in our population. You get the girls, and it's usually girls because they're the ones with the self-image issues.
Right.
But you also get young women as well. That's the population to watch out for. So they'll binge eat and then throw it up. We do have cases that come in like that, and they have disorders of the esophagus because of all the vomiting.
Right.
And they have ulcers and they have sores in their esophagus and mouth ulcers from all the vomiting, because you're vomiting acid which had been digesting your food in your stomach. And you're like, what's happening here? And they might not have lost any weight or anything, but they're attempting to do it. So that is something that I have personally seen, mostly in the affluent setup, because maybe they've been exposed to it or they have the problem more. I'm not really sure about that. But when you look at our continent, you were talking about this. From South Africa to Egypt, we have so many different shapes, so many sizes, so much beauty in different shapes and form. We have the tall, the Nilotes and the Maasai women. And then coming to the south, we have more curvaceous. We cannot put one face to beauty, one body shape. It starts with us. We define what beauty is. Absolutely. And that is how we should go forward.
Okay. Thanks for that. That's a great note to sort of go into our break. But when we come back, we're getting more into what these body image issues are and how we can sort of talk about breaking them down and hopefully overcoming them. So stay tuned and make sure you don't go away for more on Between Us Girls. And we're back from the break. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. We're talking about weight issues, body dysmorphia, and sort of disorders around how we view our body. The last point we left off with was talking about things like bulimia and anorexia. But I'd sort of like to really kind of pinpoint what they are and what the difference is, because they're both eating disorders, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're both psychological eating disorders, meaning they start in the mind and then the person starts acting that way. So the difference between anorexia and bulimia, anorexia is when a person literally starves themselves to death. They do not eat. They just taking as little calories as they can. Whereas bulimia, they allow themselves to eat, even binge eating, like eating too much, and then they vomit or force themselves to throw up the food. So that's why then they get all those side effects. Both of them are not healthy. Right. The ones who have anorexia, they have caloric deficiency, so they get malnourished. They're not eating everything they need to. So they basically have all sorts of issues, protein deficiencies, vitamin deficiencies, and they can get issues with their bones, their teeth, and just general growth. And then the bulimics, they come in with issues with their esophagus and the stomach, getting all sorts of ulcers and diseases. And they're prone to cancers of the throat and the esophagus because of the frequent vomiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, it's quite sad and devastating as well, because I think one of the things that I liked about what you mentioned on the break when we were just having our chat is that our bodies change anyways.
Yes.
You know, as we move through different stages of life and we get older and different things happen.
Yeah.
And I was hoping you could sort of break that down as well, because we know that the way we behave in our 20s and our bodies changes in our 30s and in our 40s and our 50s. And what's that journey like for women and their bodies?
So the one we all know is, we know that in puberty there are changes,
Right.
menopause there are changes, but you don't frequently hear about the in-between part. So you get shocked when you're 26 and you go to the gym and the weight is not coming off.
Right.
And you're like, but I did the same thing 5 years ago and I lost it. So what's different now? So there, different age groups have different hormonal balances.
Okay.
The older you get, the slower your metabolism and the balance of your hormones changes. So that balance between the estrogen and progesterone in a woman's body specifically is the one that determines how you're going to lose weight, how you retain the food that you eat.
Okay.
So even the distribution in your body, when you are younger, everything can go to your hips and your thighs, and then when you're older, it's all in your tummy, and now the bum disappears.
Okay.
And you're like, okay,
Yeah,
what happened?
On some bodies as well.
Yes. So it's all different because your bodies are changing. And once you're aware of that, you'll cut yourself some slack, because you know that, no, I need to do something different.
Right.
What I used to do in the gym may not work for me right now. So the moment you know that, then it's easier to accept yourself and also to do the right things for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does genetics also play a hand in
Definitely.
how your body changes through time as well?
Definitely. All our families, you know, we all come from different families with different body structures. And you always realize that sometimes, there's nothing more I'm going to do. My whole family looks like this.
Right.
Some people have problems with their arms. They're like, I don't like this thing under my arms. But you see, from the grandmother to the grandchild, they're all the same.
Right.
It's just your body. That's how it is. So in your head, if you just say to yourself that, no, this is genes. No matter how many press ups I do or weights I do, it's only going to get a certain way.
Okay.
The basic part is that's a genetic issue. You can work on it, but also know that there's only so much that you're going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's better to focus on, like you were saying, other aspects, perhaps around weight, maybe the dieting that you do, or the type.
Yes.
Because we're all on a diet, right? Just diet.
Diet just means
mean
food,
I'm
eating.
Not eating. It's just the way that you eat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we should be aware that dieting is actually 80% of what you're going to lose, and then 20% exercise. So you can be frantically at the gym and every day you're running, you're on the bike, but then you go and you eat junk food. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah. Okay.
So just know that your food, what you take in, that is the decider of, 80% will decide how much you actually lose. So pay attention to what you eat. You are what you eat. They don't just say that to say that you're now chips. But if you eat those fried chips,
it's gonna show up.
Don't get shocked.
Yeah.
Yes. But you can eat well and maybe slack a bit with the exercise and you'll still see results. So it's all about balance, really, when it comes to the weights and the self-image.
So in terms of your journey now, you mentioned early on that, at 11 you started to diet in a certain way, to just try to lose weight. I mean, have you also gotten to a place where you're like saying, okay, this is my body, this is my shape, I've had kids, I'm of a certain age? Or?
I think it's a continuous journey.
Right.
We don't arrive and say, I am now happy, because tomorrow something else is going to come up.
You can say that again.
It's a journey of discovery and also knowing which direction that you want to take. At the moment, I'm on the journey of, I want to lose more weight, but it's not something which I'm going to say, I'm going to diet for this.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle. Try and adopt it and adapt it to your life. Like we're saying, the things I advise my patients, sometimes, maybe all the time, I might not do myself.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of, there's the medic me, and then there's the me as a person on this continuous journey to a positive self-image and weight loss, really.
Absolutely. And I think it's a journey that all of us identify with. As women in the world we live in today, the images we see, our culture, and it is a journey that we can, you know, relate to within each other and cut each other some slack as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're really mean to each other.
Yes.
In terms of,
and that's where it all starts. Is other people's perceptions and opinions. But really, it starts with us. Let us define the beauty, and then we go for that.
Absolutely. And I think on that note, guys, please join the conversation on our social media at Tando Channel. That's capital T and C. We're on Twitter and we're on Facebook. So please get typing away, send us your messages, share images as well. If you want to share your journeys, we'd love to see what you're going through. Please follow Dr. Stee. It's Stee Time. She's on YouTube and she's got lots of tidbits and information to share. I'm Tendai, and thanks for listening in on our conversation between us girls. Join us again next time.